What is up, my ducks and drakes? Welcome to the Crawdad Lake, and today I'd like to discuss with you some of my past experiences with the Care Bears. On screen I'll be drawing human versions of some Care Bear cousins. I thought I'd continue a theme from this Saturday's video, which was a Care Bears theory, so if you like that, I'll leave it in the iCard. Care Bears has been something I've always grown up with. They were my first plushies. I got a plushie of Funshine and a plushie of Do Your Best Bear from my great-great-grandmother before she passed away when I was really, really little. Those were my first stuffed animals. And since then, I kind of just loved them. In 2010, right? Yeah, 2010. I loved Care Bears almost to death. This was during the era where they looked really cartoony. I'll see if I can put a picture on screen. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. But this is when they looked really cartoony, and there were things like the Great Giving Festival where they were in a Christmas movie and they were trying to see a human star being god, but she was swept away by this wind god or whatever. Care Bears was really weird back in the 2010s. Anyway, I really loved that era of Care Bears. That's what I grew up on. There was times when I was 4 years old where I would pull all-nighters as a 4-year-old just rewatching the Care Bears movie 2, A New Generation on Netflix, because I was that kind of kid. I had that whole movie memorized at the age of 4, and honestly, that kind of scares me. But then again, I'm a theater kid, so what can I say? But when I was 4 years old, there was nothing I wanted more for Christmas than a Braveheart Lion plushie. Braveheart Lion has always been my favorite Care Bear / Care Bear cousin, because technically he's not a bear. He's always been my favorite. He still is, to be honest. And there is nothing I wanted more as a 4-year-old than a Braveheart Lion plush. I wrote letters to Santa every day, and when I went to the mall, I kicked and screamed and cried until I was able to tell Santa himself that I wanted a Braveheart Lion doll. Christmas Day came. Every present I opened, I thought it'd be Braveheart. But he wasn't in any packaging. So at the time I was 4 in Christmas, I was obsessed with making food in my little plastic kitchen. Those fake kitchens that let kids pretend to bake and cook and things. So my mom was like, hey, I want some coffee. So my dad was like, okay, I'll make you some coffee. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to make you coffee too, as the 4-year-old I am. So I ran behind the plastic kitchen to get the plastic coffee mug, as one does, to see there's another gift. To VP from Santa. I scream at my dad, get the video camera, I got another gift, because I've always been a camera person. I've always been a camera show-off. So anytime there's a birthday or Christmas or Easter, I had someone constantly recording me because I was a camera hog. I was photogenic. And so I open it. And it was pretty funny because what I got rolled out of the wrapping paper before I could look at it and rolled under the couch. So I thought that Santa just got me empty wrapping paper. So my mom and dad just looked at me and went, look under the couch. I looked under the couch and was face to face with the Braveheart doll. All I did for the next 3 months, no joke, was sit there, talk, and sing to this doll. This is a plushie of Braveheart Lion. I was an obsessed, freaky little kid. I don't know why or how. I'm still like that somehow, but you know what? Yeah. So time went on, and I went to first grade. First and second grade were my most Care Bear obsessed times, and that's saying something, especially since what you heard when I was 4 years old. So I was 6 years old all throughout first grade because my birthday's in the middle of summer. So I was 6 all throughout first grade. This was when the Care Bears Welcome to Care-a-Lot series was really popular. And so that played on the hub, and I was really obsessed with Harmony Bear because she liked singing, and so did I. So I would beg my teacher all the time if I could sing to the class. So before we'd pack up our bags for going home or the lunch room, I would beg to sing, and then I'd sing a stupid song in front of the whole class. I just crave little me's confidence. Like, slay little me, slay. So I spent a majority of my first grade year just singing to the class, as one does. I'd bring my Care Bear plushies with me to school and just talk to random people about it. But this final one has to be the best story of them all. Well, the best story from first grade, that is. So there was this thing that I was reading. It was like the Babysitter's Club, I think. Yeah, it was Babysitter's Club. So basically, I was inspired to make my own club off of that, so I tried rallying the Care Bears Club at recess. That involved one kid that I forced to be friends with me because I was lonely, and they were shy, so I just kind of forced them to be friends with me, and it was great. But there was this popular kid, which I'm going to just call Skylar, just for the fun of it. Well, not their real name, but I'm going to call them Skylar. They started the Black Widow Club to contradict me because, like, the song Black Widow Baby was really popular, so they named it after that. And so the Care Bears Club and the Black Widow Club, like, were really big rivals on the playground. Me and a kid I barely knew but I forced to be friends with me versus a really popular girl and her, posse of friends. I ended up winning. You want to know why? My mom was the first vice president of the PTA, which means that I got a whole bunch of free popcorn on popcorn days. My school used to do this thing. It still does it, but I don't go to elementary school anymore. So they did this thing where on Fridays you'd pay like a quarter or 50 cents for a bag of popcorn, and they delivered to your class so that you could eat it during class or take it home or whatever. So I'd get just a whole bunch of free bags of popcorn delivered to class for me, and so I'd give it to them for them to stop talking about my club badly. Yeah. I used the my mom could beat up your mom kind of story, but like, I was 6 years old. I didn't know what memes were. As one does as a 6-year-old growing up in 2012. Was it 2012? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Don't ask me questions. And then came second grade. Second grade, I was still very, very close to Care Bears. The first story was kind of a shorter one. It was St. Patrick's Day, and I walked into class, and there was a picture of Good Luck Bear on screen that said Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then I turned to my teacher, and she said, I saw this and thought of you, so I put it on the screen for this morning. And I'm like, oh, thank you, as the 7-year-old I was back then. And yeah, that was basically it. But the thing that really got me was this one time. I was getting ready to take a test, and it was right before recess. So my teacher pulls me out into the hallway. I think I was in trouble for something. But then she's like, I went to a garage sale and I found a whole bunch of old Care Bears tapes. Do you want them? And I'm like, I don't know if we have a tape player at home. I could ask though. So the next day I asked my mom if I had a tape player. She said no. So I came back to school the next day and I'm like, we don't have one, so I don't think so. And she's like, if you want, you could come in during recess and watch it. And I'm like, well, I don't leave my best friend out on the playground by herself. This isn't the same one from first grade, but once again I had a friend who was really shy and didn't talk to people. So we were really each other's only companions. Once again, not the same person from first grade, but yeah. So I asked her if she wanted to watch Care Bears with me inside, because it's like, instead of me saying no and going outside with her, I could just bring her inside, as one does. So I bring her inside. And so we watched Care Bears during recess that day, and it was great. And now I'm friends with one of the popular girls that were in our second grade class. For the sake of the argument right now, I'm just going to call her Elizabeth. And the person she's talking to, Julian. Once again, made up names, but it works. So Elizabeth was talking to Julian as they were walking into the class. They looked up and saw us watching Care Bears. Knowing that this person that my best friend, which I was with, kind of just did anything I said because they were too shy to speak up against me. I don't think I've ever done anything bad, and if I did, I'm sorry, but for the most part, I was just kind of like, let's do this. Oh, okay. As one does in 2nd grade. So back on track, Elizabeth and Julian walked into class and was like, yep, those two are real friends. I do not know another couple that would tolerate watching Care Bears together. And so I turned around, and at the time, me and Elizabeth, this girl named Elizabeth, were pretty hateful of each other. We're actually best friends now. Like, we even did a collab a couple months ago on the channel. We played at Hole.io together. Yeah, it was Hole.io. We also played Bonk on the channel together. But either way, we're really good friends now. We just kind of hated each other back in 2nd grade. So, yeah. I think my real, Care Bears tales didn't come back until this school year, because I kind of let it leave my school life because it got in the way of my education, because people would ignore me, and I couldn't have anyone for group projects. It was sad. It was a sad time. Also, I kind of fell out of Care Bears a little bit because I got into Shopkins, but that didn't last long. But I've been Care Bears for life, you know? So this year in school, it's high school. I'm in high school now. I didn't think I'd be getting into Care Bears again, out of all things. But I was talking to my theater teacher, and we were having our spirit week before homecoming. And one of the days was pajama day. So my theater teacher comes into class wearing a Love-A-Lot onesie. I flipped out and started talking to them. They had a Love-A-Lot plushie and was wearing a Love-A-Lot onesie. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And of course, we're online, so, we're on camera and things. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. But then she's like, oh yeah, I collect the figurines. If you want, I have some duplicates I could give you once we go back to in-person school. And I'm like, ya kidding? Of course. And so we went back to in-person school about a month ago. It was April 6th, I want to say. Either 6th or 2nd, I forgot which. But beginning of April, we went back. And the first day of school, I went to their classroom, and I'm like, oh yeah, you want me to file those papers in your office after class, right? And they looked down at me and winked at me and went, yep. So after class, they went into their rainbow bag and pulled out a whole bunch of Care Bears figurines, and they were figurines of Braveheart, Cozy Heart Penguin, Lots of Heart Elephant, and Bright Heart Raccoon. I didn't know they made figurines for the Care Bears and Cousins series, but the fact that I got duplicates of them is great. I have 2 Braveheart lions. I have 3 Bright Heart raccoons. I have 2 Lots of Heart penguins. I only have 1 Cozy, but that's okay because I got Care Bear cousin figurines now, and I got Braveheart. Braveheart, you hearing me? Braveheart lion. But it's great. I love my boys. And today, I'm recording this on Sunday, May 23rd. It's the 23rd, yeah, 23rd. And I was role-playing with my friends, and they're like, what OCs do you have? So I role-played as my human Braveheart, which I named Damien. My human Braveheart's name is Damien. My human Brightheart's name is Samuel. And the one you're seeing right now, which is human Swiftheart, I named her... Actually, I don't remember what I named her. Dang it, now I feel like a bad person. Hold on. Okay, so I just looked back, and I realized that I named her Zoe. I thought it was Zoe, but I wanted to make sure before I give you guys, the wrong name. So with that, I'll probably leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. Art Mondays is super fun to make, and I'm glad you guys seem to like watching them because they're fun. They're just really fun to make and really fun to do, and they're just fun, all in all. So thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, click that subscribe button and hit the bell. If you'd like to see my social medias, go into the description and click the links in the description. go to my second channel where I go live, and like always, do your best.